Node.js that uses the single-threaded event model. So for achieving the concurrency or for handling the multiple requests, so here the Node.js uses the concept of that is event queue. So here we are not actually directly added the request. So we are adding the request uh, by splitting that request into different subtasks, and each and every subtask that is added as a callback for this main task, so that only we can effectively use this Node.js event model. So here for adding the work to this Node.js event queue, so here we are using some of the concept, that is the original workers breaking into the different chunks or different subtasks that is added as the series of callback. So if we are implemented your code properly means then the Node.js event module that properly schedule this task by using this event queue, and this Node.js event queue that consists of only a single thread. So here the major aim is, so we are not directly added the request to the event queue. So the main request that is divided into different subtasks, and each and every subtask that is added as the callback for your main subtask. So here Node.js application the schedule queue by pausing the callback function using one of this method. So here the work is scheduled on the event queue. So by pausing the different callback, that means the major work that is splitted into the subtask, each and every subtask that is added as the callback of the main task. So that is seriously added. So here we can add this callback function. So callback function is nothing but that is call or invoke inside the another one function. So this can be implemented in the different way. So the one technique is using blocking IOs, that is file reading or connecting to the database, and the second way is using the built-in event listener. So the node that already have some built-in event listener, so for example HTTP request or server connection, or you can create our own event emitters and also custom listeners, or otherwise we can use the process.nestic, and one more is using the timers. So we can add this callback function using blocking IO or built-in event listener, or using our own event emitter, or using process.nestic, or we can use the timers for scheduling our task using this callback. Now we can see one by one. So first we have to see that is how to implement this timers. So this is actually one of the useful features of Node.js. So here we are using the timers for delaying our execution. So here we are having the three different types of timers. One is timeout, second one is interval, and the third one is immediate. So this timeout, this include a callback function that get executed after the particular time exceed the set time interval. So this is periodically execute a particular task in a particular time interval. So this also a callback function. Set immediate, so this will be pick the task and added to the end of the loop. So this is executed the callback function once the loop is cleared. So this is the one way for implementing the callback. So first using the timeout. So timeout is normally used to delay work for a specific amount of time. So this timeout, this is normally used to delay the work for specific amount of time. For example, if you want to execute a particular task after the 2 seconds, so then we can use this timeout function. So this actually a callback function, and this execute that callback function when the time expires. So this use timeouts for work that only needed to be performed once. So that is the callback function get executed only once. This is a syntax, that is set timeout, then callback function, then delay in milliseconds, and also the argument. So these arguments are passed to that callback function. So this is the syntax for set timeout. Set timeout, and the first argument is our callback function, and the second one is a delay in milliseconds, and the third one is a argument. So this optional arguments that is passed or used by that callback function. So when we call the set timeout, the callback function is executed after the delay millisecond. So here is the example, that is set timeout of my function of 1000. So here the my function that gets executed after the 1000 millisecond, that is exactly after the 1 second. So the set timeout function return a timer object ID, and if you want to clear the timeout, then we can use the function that is clear timeout at any time that is before the time expires. So this actually cancel the timeout function. So this is an example for cancelling. So we can get reference in a variable that actually return the ID. So you can invoke the multiple timeout functions. So each and every one that return the unique ID. And if you want to cancel the particular one, then we can pass this as the argument here. Okay, this is an example for set timeout. So here we are defining one function that is symbol timeout. This will be take one argument, and this is actually call another one function that is console.time end. So this time here in node we are having two functions. One is called as console.time and another one is console.time end. So this console.time that is used to start the timer. So if it is if we are passing any argument with this, the timer is tagged with that particular label. If you are if you does not pass any argument here, the timer is tagged with the default. So here we are having two functions. One is time console.time and another one is console.time end. This console.time that is used to start the timer. So if it has some argument that is tagged with the particular, that is labeled to the particular timer, and this is used to end that timer. So here first we are start this timer with the label that is 2 seconds. Now this particular timer is start and that is assigned with the label 2 seconds. So here we are invoking the set timeout. This will be take the callback. Callback means, so in another one we are invoking the function inside the another one function. So here set timeout is one of the function. So here we are invoking another one function. So this set timeout that consists of three arguments. The first one is callback function, second one is time delay in millisecond, and the third one is optional argument. So this argument that is used by this callback function. So here set timeout of, here the callback is single timeout and the argument is 2000, and here and the delay is 2000 and the argument is 2 second. So after the 2 second, that is 2000 millisecond, this set timeout invoke this callback function symbol timeout with the argument 2 second. So here this invoke this one with the argument 2 seconds. So here already we started the timer with the 2 second, so that is passed here. So this console.time end, so this is actually stop that particular timer and that will be print that value to the console. So this is print the value that is greater than 2000 millisecond, because after executing this line the timer gets start, and here we are invoking this one. So this functions invoke minimum of 2 seconds. So here we are getting this console with 2 sec, that is this will be print the value that is more than 2 seconds. So likewise all this get executed. So after that we are starting the another one timer with the label 1 second. Using that we are invoking this symbol timeout. So this will be execute. This is after the 1 second. Similarly 5000 and also 50 millisecond. So here actually what will be happen. So everything that is added to the event queue. So here we are having event queue. So first this task is added to the event queue, that is console.time 2 seconds. So this will be start the timer, that is timer, and with the label that is 2 seconds. So 2 seconds, this will be start the timer. So now we are executing this one, that is symbol timeout. So this is a callback function. So this is added to the callback queue. That is, here we are having some external task. So this is added to the thread pool. So this is actually a blocked function, right? So this timeout, symbol timeout executed after the 2000 seconds. So here this is added to the thread pool and assigned to the timer, that is execute 2 seconds. And next, that is console.timer. So this will be start the another one timer with the label 1 second, and now we are invoking this one. So this is again a blocking, that is 1 second. So next one, the 5000 millisecond, again this is added here. Then finally the 50 milliseconds, then finally the 50 millisecond. So here this one is executed first, that is after the 50 millisecond. Now this task is again added to the event queue. So event queue pick this task and execute this one. So first we are getting the result for this one. So after the 1 second, so this is added to here, and 2 seconds, this is added to event queue. So likewise actually the event model work in the uh, Node.js. So here the task is added into the event queue. So the task is added into the event queue, and if it isn't blocked, that is given to the thread pool. And after the task is given to the thread pool, now here the event loop. So pick the next tag. So likewise this will be pick one by one, and after finishing that external task, that is again added to here, and now even queue pick this one and execute this callback function, and that is not a blocked one. So that is send back the result to the user. So the next way for implementing callback is using timer, that is set interval. So if you are using the set timeout, the task is executed only once after completing the delay millisecond. And if you are using the set interval, the particular task or callback is periodically executed after the given milliseconds. So the interval timers are used to perform work on regular delayed interval. So that is executed periodically. When the delay timer expires, the callback function is executed and is then rescheduled for the delay interval again. So once the callback function is executed, again it is rescheduled, and after exceeding the certain time, again it is added into the event queue, then the callback function executed. So this will be executed periodically in a certain interval. So use the interval for the work that we need to perform on a regular basis for the regular time cap. So this interval timers are created by using this given function, that is set interval. So here also the first argument is callback, second one is delay in milliseconds, third one is argument. So this argument is used by that callback function. So this is a syntax. Set interval of first one is callback function which we want to execute in a regular time interval, and the second argument is a time interval, and the third one is argument, that is used callback function. So here is an example. So here we are defining three variable x, y, z, and here we are using one function, that is display value, that will be print the value of x, y, z on the console. So here we are having the first one, function update of x. So this will be increment x by 1, function update of y, that will be increase y by 1, and function update of z, that increase the z plus by 1, and it also invoke the display value function. So now we are invoking that set interval of update x comma 500. So this update x, that's a callback function that is executed every 500 milliseconds. So this x value is get incremented every 500 millisecond. And the next one, set interval update y 1000 millisecond. That means the update y function, that is update the y value by 1 after every 1000 milliseconds. And the third one, set interval of update z comma 2000. So this will get executed after the every 2000 milliseconds or 2 seconds. So this work is done periodically and increment the value x, y, z. That is x value is incremented every 500 millisecond, y is incremented 1000 milliseconds, and the z is incremented 2000 milliseconds, right? So this is the use of set interval. So this is a set interval, that is a another one way of adding the callback function, and that particular callback function is executed periodically in certain interval. So that is the second way of implementing callback function. First one is using the set timeout, and the second one interval, and the third one is using the immediate timer. So immediate timers are used to perform the work on a function as soon as IO event callback are executed. So after the IO event, this will be get executed, but before any timeout or interval event are executed. So this is higher priority than the other timer event, and this is lower priority than IO event. So normally this will be scheduled during the next iteration. So this allow you to schedule work to be done after the current event in the event queue are completed. So while we are scheduling the work using the set timeout, the event queue pick that, and that is added to the end of the event queue. When the current event finish, this one is get executed. So use immediate timers to yield long running execution segment to other callback to preventing the starving the IO events. So immediate timers are created using this set immediate callback, and the next one, that is optional argument, that is for this callback function. So when we are called the set immediate, the callback function is placed on the event queue and popped off once for each iteration through the event queue loop after the IO event have a chance to be called. So here this set immediate, that is normally scheduled in the next iteration, that is after completing any IO task. Yeah, this will be get executed immediately. This is another adding the callback function. For example, set immediate of my functions. So that is get executed. So after the current events of event queues completed its execution, and if you want to clear this one, then we can use the clear immediate. So this is the way we can invoke the callback in our event queue using the timers. That means we can use the set timeout, set interval, or set immediate based on our purpose. So if we want to execute a callback once after a certain interval, we can use the set timeout. And if you want to execute a particular task periodically, then we can use the set interval. If you want to execute a task immediately, then we can use the set immediate. So this is the way we can implement the timers in Node.js. So, and for dereferencing or unreferencing the timers, then we can use the unref, that is used to unref. So already I told. So while we are creating the set interval or set timeout, set immediate, that will be return the reference ID. By using that ID, we can unrefer from the event queue, and for refer back, we are using the reference. Next way for implementing the callback function is, that is adding the subtask as a callback in your event queue is using the next tree. So already we saw the one concept, that is timers. So using that we can add the callback function, that is we can add the subtask as a callback in our event queue. So here There we have studied three concepts, that is one is set timeout, set interval and set immediate. So here the another one is nesting. So this is also allow us to add the callback function, that is we can add the sub function inside of your main task, that is so this next tick that will be add the work to the next cycle and compare with the set immediate. So this next tick that will be take the priority over the IO function. So the set immediate that also schedule the task during the next iteration or the next cycle. So once the current event queue is cleared, the callback of set immediate is scheduled. So here the next tick also, once the current event queue is cleared, the callback of next tick also scheduled, but the next tick that has the higher priority than the IO function, and the set timeout that have a lower priority than the IO function. That means if any IO function is available on the event queue, that is first executed before the set timeout, and the next tick is executed before this IO functions, right? So here we are having one reading, that is IO function. So this is the first tag. So first we are include the module, that is FS, that is provide the function for handling the IO request. So here we are having one function, that is stat, that is used to get the status of that particular file. So here the first one is an input as a file, and if it is exists, so that will be execute the callback function. So in the callback function, just we are printing the value console.log of next tick exist, next tick.js exists, just we are write on console. So this is the first one, and the next function is set immediate. So here we are having two set immediate. One is print timer immediate timer 1 executed, and the second one is print immediate timer 2 is executed. So and we are having two process.nextTick function. So here we are having three different operations. One is a file operation, second one is a set immediate, third one is process.nextTick. This set immediate and process.nextTick, so that get executed after the current iteration. So this kind of task that is added to the micro task queue. So when the particular callback is executed after the current iteration or after clearing the current function on an event queue, these are functions are added into the macro task queue. So here set immediate, so that is actually scheduled after clearing the event queue. So this is first added to the micro task queue. So here we are having two set immediate. So after that the process.nesting, so this also executed after clearing the event queue. Currently in the event queue we are having only one IO call. So this process.nesting, so that has the higher priority than the IO call. So this is first executed because there is no other function on event queue. Only we are having that IO function on a. So this is our event queue. So here we are having first our IO call and the set immediate that is added to the micro task queue. That is micro task queue. So this will be contain the task that is executed after the current iteration. So we are having set immediate and also the process.nesting. So both are executed after clearing all the current tasks on the event queue. So in the event queue currently we are having one IO task, but this process.nesting that has higher priority than the IO. So this is first executed, and the set immediate that is executed after clearing the IO. So this has the lower priority than IO. So the second task is that IO executed, and the third the set immediate executed. So here we are getting output, that is the first one, nestic 1 executed, and the console second output is nestic 2 executed, that is the first task executed. So second that IO, so in the IO, so that will be execute the callback function if the particular file exists. So if that particular file exists, so that will be written on the console, that is netstick.js execute, that is the second is IO executed, and after that finally the set immediate is executed after clearing everything on the event queue. So we are finally get the output immediate timer 1 executed and immediate timer 2 executed.